It's Ack. It's a show. It's the Ack Show.
Hi, and welcome to the Ack Show. Now, I've been spending 5 days trying to write a script and do all the pre-production to make this first episode happen. I'm a day late. I need to get this done. So I've got an outline. I just said, screw it, I'm just going to give an outline. I'm not going to do this like that Ray William Johnson guy does it, or Ray Johnson William guy. What is his name? Whatever. You know that guy. He's got this big YouTube channel. We're just gonna wing it, okay? So it says here, hi. That's the first thing I have to do. I've already covered that. So right now, let's just get down to the really important part. It's called the MySide installation that I'm doing. I've got some beautiful graphics here, very lovely. One of the things I recommend that you do is, number one, read the instructions. Very important. You got to read the instructions. does this great job of providing wonderful, detailed instructions. However, if you don't read the instructions, you're boned on the telephone, folks. Read the instructions. Now, one of the things I did was I sandblasted a manifold, an intake manifold I got from eBay. I also went out and bought my own carburetor from a bike shop here locally. You can get both of these things pre-prepped if you're an absolute I don't know how to do shit thing person, and just slap it all together following Myron's wonderful instructions. Remember that. They are good if you follow them. So I sandblasted it, and I cut off the ports, the little metal, the little brass tubes on the ports, and I drilled and threaded the holes that were left over with 1032 screws. Screwed them in with a little JB weld to make sure they're nice and sealed. Looks lovely. Then I painted it black. So I was able to put all the carburetor components together, and basically it's a kit where you have the adapter between the carburetor and the intake manifold. That's the main thing, part of the kit, but there's lots of little stuff that goes with it that really make it work well. One of the unusual things I found out about the carburetor that I purchased, it had this plate on it that I couldn't recognize from the drawings. So what I did was I called up Myron. Hey, that's what he's there for. Call him. I know you'll probably catch him when he's on the crapper sometime, but call him. He's there to help you. One of the odd things about this carburetor is it had this funny plate on it that I couldn't figure out what was going on. You see it in the picture there. And it turned out to be part of the cruise control on the donor motorcycle. All you have to do is unscrew that nut on the end of the shaft, pull that plate off, and screw the nut down tight again, and you're ready to go, just like the drawings and the pictures in my wonderful documentation. Hey, so you get it all together. And one of the things you have to do is set the idle adjust, and this is all documented. Set the idle adjust, then start the engine, make sure your timing's right. He talks about it being more than 10 or 12 degrees. I can't recall exactly, but it's in the instructions, and you can get the instructions on the Zor website. It's very simple. I can't say how much the instructions are wonderful in this. Once you've got it all set up and the idle's set and the timing is all set, you want to take a can of carburetor cleaner and spray it around the various places where you might have a vacuum leak. Along the edge of the intake manifold where it bolts to the head, where all the little plugs that you've created are, spray there. Spray between the intake manifold top and where the adapter fits on, spray by where the carburetor fits into the adapter. Anytime during those sprayings, the engine speeds up, you know you've got a vacuum leak. So you need to take care of that vacuum leak before you go on. That simplifies everything because it narrows down your problems to only being perhaps jetting. And the less variables you have in this whole thing, the quicker you're going to get your carburetor running properly. There's all kinds of stuff in that documentation, including links in the addendum that'll tell you all about jetting and everything. But if you do get confused, if it's just beyond your comprehension, give Myron a call, okay? It's time for the redaction zone, where we talk about a post on one of the forums and try to answer the question that's asked in the post. In this week's redaction zone, we have a person who is wondering how he can get hot air out of those round ports on his dash. Now, if you're any kind of a reader of the forums, you automatically know the answer to this question. You will never get hot air out of those ports because they only deliver fresh air or air from the air conditioning unit. That's the way it is. Sorry, that's the way they made the Samurai. It ain't gonna happen unless you do lots of modding underneath the dash. And if you do that, you're probably gonna end up with a crappy heating system. And we already know the system's pretty crappy in the first place. Now, if you do have a problem with your heater and it doesn't seem to be blowing hot air in the right places, there are a lot of little links, in Ack's Facts that describe how to clean the heater core. You get a lot of buildup of leaves that fall in from the louvers in front of the windshield, and they cover the top of the heater core and really screw up your heating. And these articles will tell you exactly how to fix that right there on Ack's Facts. Do a search for heat or heater.
Presented tonight in the long-winded, tedious, wordy, verbose, windy, and redundant writing style of Charles Dickens.